We're not going to have an intro song video for tonight. We'll throw the post-show stream intro up, and we got a lot to talk about. A new song, Renick Simpson pulling up, and we got to talk about some other things involving Mexico, including the fact there weren't a lot of deep cuts this time. DMB post-show stream starts now.
It's your boy Concert Viz 34 back at home.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34.
Yep, so your boy Concert Viz 34 coming to you here.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34. Aria. Okay, so this is Aria, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and about your love for the Dave Matthews Band.
I've been a fan of the band since April 28, 1998, and if you recognize the date, that's when Before These Crowded Streets was released.
Alpine is definitely a better venue than Summerfest, but we'll take it. I think I've been going to shows for about 20-something years.
I always tell people, like, compare DMB to now to when I first started. And I got started, in my opinion, I feel like I got started late. Like, I was at the very end of the band's prime. I feel like that 03 to 06 was like the end of the prime. 07, 08 was like, you know, we're at the very end. And then when Roy passed.
But Dave really, this is the thing. Dave has put, Rashawn has been assigned the quarterback of this team. He is the coach, the play caller. He designs the jams. Dave just shows up and plays whatever he's going to play. What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34, and we are done with Mexico, at least from a musical standpoint. Just want to send my best wishes to those who are in Mexico, who are having trouble getting flights home on the East Coast. Some fans in Mexico are probably going to be waiting until the middle of this week before they can get flights home. There are a lot of cancellations because of the snowstorm and ice storm across the southeast down until the Florida line, all the way up to Maine. We're going to talk about a couple of different things. I will be having some video reviews, hopefully very, very soon. And if you're in the chat and you were in Mexico, or you're currently in Mexico, obviously you wouldn't have just left. Please share your thoughts. If you're watching the replay, please share your thoughts. I want to hear from everyone who was physically down there on the beach for this weekend, and especially for this show. Last night on the post-show stream, we talked to Sherry, and I also got texts and messages from people who were leaving night 2, and what they were all saying is they physically saw Jake Renick Simpson. It wasn't a rumor of a rumor, or some guy saw him in some over there somewhere. It was like, yo, we saw Jake physically on the grounds. And that's when the expectation back here stateside, we all were thinking at home, okay, Jake's going to be here. We want to get to the Couch Tour stream there. And the only way to really watch these shows is on a Facebook group called DMB Couch Tour. So if you have a Facebook account, it is worth it, because outside of that, there's no access. There's no stream. There's no Sirius XM. There should be Sirius XM recordings that eventually go up within the next month or two. That's typically what happens after Mexico. But Jake is saved the day. But even so, we'll talk about the set a little later on. But Jake coming here, forget even Mexico, forget this set, forget this weekend. Night 3 was just about a statement from Dave Matthews saying, hey, I'm still going to invite Jake out to come play with me. And this is important because the hope for fans like me is that we can get some collaborations on live stages in 2026 with Jake Renick Simpson. We know there are shows that he has with Lucas Nelson, July 31st all the way through September, where he's not going to be in that West Coast swing. It's just not happening. He'll be on the East Coast when the band is getting ready and taking the stage for those Gorge nights. He will not be out West with DMB. But the hope is, hey, last year he went to the Gorge, went to Wildlands, went to Farmade. Hopefully this year he hits some East Coast venues and Southern venues and Midwestern venues from May or even April, depending on how early tour starts, to mid to late July. And this is more important than any other thing the band does outside of maybe the tour dates, because we want to know where they're actually playing. But like, new music is cool, but over new music, people want to hear the violin again. And so this is the most important thing. If they can find a way, if they can work things out to get Jake for some full band shows, just like he played in Mexico, that's a good sign. But for those who were saying, oh, I don't know if it's going to happen, we probably won't see Jake, he's not going to be a full band member. And he probably won't be a full band member, if we're honest, because he's committed to Lucas right now, this year, 2026. I don't foresee him being announced as a band member, a full touring member of DMB. He's already excited about the Lucas tour. But just to get him to sit in for certain shows. Last night, I talked about the Lovely Ladies. Not that I want them ever back at shows, respectfully, because Buddy Strong can fill in what they do and he does it better than them. Anyway, that's the ugly truth, because he actually plays the keys and can play more songs. But the hope is, just like the Lovely Ladies, they came around in 2014, did some shows in some markets, including that Mansfield show I went to when they came back. And then the next year they did other ones. Again, I do not want them back, but my hope is that they'll try to find ways to get Jake to a couple of shows or 10 to 12 shows, or if not more, between April and May of 2026 all the way to July. He does have a one-off show in Houston in April, but still, I think if the tour starts in late April, you could still get Jake out there. So this was just more evidence that, hey, Jake is not going to disappear. And the thing with the violin, people are like, oh, I want this person or that person. Beggars cannot be choosers. Jake Renick Simpson did something to Dave Matthews' heart and mind to say, you know what? I think we can get a violin player as a frequent collaborator with this band and with the D&B universe. That's what I took away from 2025. Other people, he was close to Anne Marie Inninger, who used to be Anne Marie Calhoun. That was probably the closest fiddle player he was, because she was married to Brian Calhoun, who makes Rockbridge guitars. And even after the divorce, they're very friendly. Dave knows her really well. People thought she was going to be the person to replace Boyd. But she's raising a family in LA. She's not going to be torn. Other people have come in and out, from openers, from other people like Jason Crosby in Homedale last year, who did a wonderful job. The crowd pop that from just the taper audio and stuff is incredible. Fans who were there told me about that crowd pop when he came on. But he's not going to be the person. He's too late in his career. He's too seasoned. They're not going to have him hop on and play all these shows. It's not happening. The only hope for violin playing outside of a one-off experience in this modern era of the band, in this final era of the band, if we're honest, because this is, I hope that they get 5 to 10 more years. But the reality is, based on the ages of this band, this is the final stretch, even if it goes for 5 years or more. And so the only hope is Jake Renick Simpson. It's not another fiddle player. The chemistry they have is just something that you've seen Dave have with Buddy. And initially, Rashawn had great connections with Leroy Moore and Dave Matthews. He was guesting for a bit, just like Jake was guesting for a bit, and then he became a member. I don't see Jake becoming a member in 2026. I do see him trying to fly him out to both Dave and Tim, Dave solo stuff that he does in public events. And also, I think there's a hope for the first leg of the summer tour for Jake to possibly pop up at a couple places based on his availability. So that's Jake. The number one takeaway from tonight is, hey, Jake still is pulling up. This is awesome. This is great. This is positive. And we'll get to the Cellist in a second. What I want to do next, I want to play this new song that was played tonight, okay? And I want to play it for you guys. And there's not really much known outside of for the DMB Almanac, and I know those guys personally, and I trust what the work they're doing. It has in the notes of the DMB Almanac that this song, "Making It Great," it's a tentative title for a song, but there's no other information. Was this in a previous session? Has it just been written in the last year? Has it just been written in 2026? We don't know. So I want to play it here. This is audio from Mike LeDuc from the Couch Tour. I'm playing his source because he's been someone who's been gracious enough to give me videos in the past and said, hey, as long as you credit me, I'm good. So this is audio from this song. I'm going to play this audio for you. Let me know if you have any issues hearing it. But without further ado, we are going to play this. Let me also make sure that the audio is good to go. And just give me 1 second here. All right. So I'm going to play the audio here from this song, Making It Great.
Anyway, much love to you all. I hope you like this little song that I made up. We can make this easy or we can make this hard. I got a gun, gives me the power, and you got nothing but the right to shut your mouth. So get out your car, get on the ground, please. Give me a reason to rain all hell down on you. Making it great, again making it great, again making it great, again. again, making it great again. There's no place to run, no place to hide. You can't win, but you can die trying. Come on, you can't stay here. Show me your hands and I'll make you disappear. Making it great again, making it great again, making it great again. Making it great again, making it great again, making it great again. Making it great again, making it great again. Mercy, can't you see me? Mercy, can't you see me? Mercy, mercy, I beg of you. Mercy, I beg of you. Can you see me? Mercy, I beg of you. Mercy, can't you see me? Mercy, 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 mercy. Oh, again. Making it great again, making it great again, making it great again, again, making it great again, making it.
Sorry about that. I think the song cut out. I think the noise cut out. Let me try to reset. Haven't been having some issues with the audio here, but I think most of this you guys were able to hear. I picked out, like, it's weird because there's pieced together references of other D&B songs. Like I heard Come On, Mercy, like something about You Might Die Trying. Hey, Mike, what's up, man? Great to always appreciate your support. I see you in the chat. Here's my thing with Dave. This song couldn't have been written 10 years ago. It's something in the current events of the last year or two, maybe, if not sooner, from what I think. The thing, it doesn't seem like it's finished. But this stuff, like when Dave writes a song about the struggles of his life, that is the best Dave Matthews. And when Dave makes a song that seems happy, but he has dark themes and underlying heavy subject matter, right? Those songs, like you think about Joyride, how it's like upbeat, but he's talking about, right, the money's clean, but we scrub it good. Like, there's tons of songs that like people sing that are D&B songs. They think, oh, it's happy, it's upbeat, it's in a major key, and it's just dark. That's the best D&B you're going to get. In songs like Pig that mix darkness and light. This line of like, hey, like peace on earth, right? And kill the monster. In this song, they seem too direct to issues that he feels compelled to talk about. Like he's trying to address things directly that's wrong with this world, but his lyrics are not clever. It's not hidden enough. And it doesn't seem to translate into a song where I'm like, yeah. Now, Madman's Eyes was a song that talked about current events, and that one I thought was pretty good. I think it's been overplayed, but that song was a great dark song. But that's also, it was dark. These songs that have some of this slightly happy major into melancholy transition, or just are happy or joyful or just trying to be positive or optimistic, I think they missed the mark. Right. I'm not just going to say, oh, it's the best. Like, right. And, obviously, this comes out on Facebook. Everyone's, oh, this song it's a new Dave song. It's so great. I'm not going to be like, just go along, get along. I thought this song, again, it seems like a work in progress. I thought it missed the mark. And Dave is a legendary songwriter. He does not need to make another new song ever again, and he'll be goated. He has so many song ideas that he's ditched that are brilliant, and that's his right to ditch it. It's his material, and he is the artist on stage. Some of the best stuff I love from Dave, he played it once or twice, whether it's a melody, whether it's a full song, whether it's something he riffs, like Prelude to Grace in the Satellite intro from 2001. It doesn't hit the mark. And also this song title, making it great, it reminds me of Come Tomorrow. Okay, he has this idea, okay, we're gonna make it great, right? He's obviously upset with certain things in the world. Come Tomorrow is this song, hey, we're gonna leave this world to our kids. And it was a bad, poorly written song. So I just think this is a weakness in the modern Dave. This is Dave. Dave is pretty much like, LeBron James. Well, no, he's not that bad. I won't say that, but he's like Michael Jordan when he came back with the Wizards. He could still put up 20 a game. He has some great song ideas, right? I thought Take All Day was actually a good song. Now that one had been around for a while though. He had mentioned that. But hey, Stupid Almanac in the building. What up? What up? Hope you and your son and wife are well. Say hi to Lindsay for me and your son. But it's not even about, I know people are going to make, oh, political, this or that. It has nothing to do with his politics. If a song is good, it's good. He could be mad at whatever powers that be, and he has every right to be. But a good song is a good song. A bad song to me is a bad song. And this one misses the mark right now. We'll see what happens. Maybe he completely tears this song down and rebuilds it up and it's better. But I just think right now, Dave has a heavy heart with what he believes, what he is trying to stand up against. And the music, the songs that are coming out of it aren't hitting. Like, even if we just give the benefit of the doubt to a song like Mercy, right? Which I'm not a huge fan of per se. A song like Mercy is better written. It's more radio friendly. Like it was clearly written to be on the radio. But a song like Mercy in 2012, Away from the World, even that Dave Matthews, who's trying to make this song about don't give up, you, right? That song is better written. This song is, Carter, Stupid Almanac son turned 4 today. Happy birthday to Carter. But yeah, I'll just say that it had to be said. I'm going to say it. It may not be said on Facebook. It may not be said on certain forums. I know like Corner of Gray Street. I know Pod that Jane likes, like they're going to be honest about something like this, and shout out to those. But everyone else, you can't say anything negative about Dave Matthews. They're going to, this song's the best ever. My opinion, not so much, but I do commend Dave for taking chances, right? And still trying to be vulnerable and release some stuff, because I think some of the songs I've liked, like Cha Cha, and I know that's a couple years ago now, but I like that he put that out. And so I have nothing, just like a comedian practicing their act live and in comedy clubs and see if it hits or miss. Dave is going to hit or miss. This was a miss. All right, let's get to this set list. And here's the thing with this set list, we're going to slide right into deep cuts and the Mexico, can they get fans back? So just a preview. This set list was weird. It was odd. I've never seen so many newer album songs strung together with a couple of generic Some Devil songs. The deep cut side of Some Devil was missing in action this weekend. You did have Jodo, right? Don't get me wrong. But outside of Dodo, what other song, like, and I know some years they've played some of these songs more frequently, but outside of Dodo, all the other Some Devil songs were very generic. And they're not like, I don't hate Save Me. I don't dislike Stay or Leave, but like the whole point of Mexico is like you get Dodo, you get what you got, but you get Up and Away, right? You get some stuff out of left field, even a Little Thing, right? You get that, which was retitled for Some Devil to In Another Thing, right? That was all missing. And so you get okay. Now I will say did have an additional context. Let me talk about that here. And I will just commend Dave Matthews for being vulnerable in telling the full story. He's always shared the story of being about his grandparents being in love and the deep love they had for one another. What he did not talk about, and I understand why he never talked about it, is the song was written after his grandfather passed away. His grandfather mentally had some mental struggles and mental health issues and capacity issues. And so tragically, his grandfather, unalived himself, right? Took his own life. His grandfather did. And his grandfather left a note after he did what he did. And after reading that note, Dave kind of pretty much wrote based on the love that he had, right, for his grandmother, who passed away sometime a little bit later, right, of natural causes or some other means, right? And so he never shared that part of the story, but it gives us a vulnerable entrance into the tragedies that Dave Matthews has faced in his life. He lost his father at a young age. He lost his sister due to gun violence, where there was his brother-in-law took his sister's life and he took his own life. And so Dave has faced some terrible, dark tragedies in his life. And this was one of them, but he never shared that. And he didn't have to share that. But that's none of our business if he didn't want to share it. But he did share it, right? And so it was just additional context to So I will give him just the kudos for being vulnerable in Mexico to share that. But Save Me, like I've heard, you get those songs at Farm Aid every year, right? And so it's like so much to say. Oh, cool. Granny. I love Granny. Play Granny any show, right? And so after that, you have Save Me and okay, cool. Virginia in the Rain. Right. And I love that song, right? But this is Mexico. This is not Farm Aid. So it's like you got Virginia in the Rain. Then you got Rooftop. Again, I don't dislike the song, but this is Mexico. People are paying 5, 10, 15 racks in expenses to get here. People are spending 30, 40, 50% of their salary. Sometimes they save over 3 to 4 years to get to Mexico. It's not just people who have the money every year. Some people save for a couple years to get to Mexico. And you're playing Virginia in the Rain, Rooftop. Now, Love or Lay Down is not a bad song in context, but when you have a bunch of songs before it, as far as what you expect from Mexico, not good. Spaceman, meh. Space, meh, right? Again, people who love Dave reading the phone book. Oh, Spaceman, cool. Like, it's Mexico. Come on. Stand on business, Dave. Where are the Some Devil deep cuts? Then you have Just Breathe. All right. I don't mind that song. Again, a lot of these songs, if they are put in as a TV timeout in a solid D&B set list, that's fine. But stringing them all together in a set list makes this set list Kate Middleton. Right? Just Breathe. Okay, then you get a Tim, Betrayal. Very common one. I don't care. That's not a positive or negative. It's just, hey, Tim's doing his thing. Then you get Crush. I wouldn't even say that's a negative acoustically, right? With Dave and Tim. Black and Bluebird, a song I really like, but do I want to hear it in Mexico? Right? Number 27, not a bad song. Again, but what's surrounding it? What is backing up? Where's all back you up? We need some backup for number 27. Monsters. I don't dislike Monsters, but it's not Mexico quality to string together all these songs without a banger. Jimmy Thing, much better acoustically. But again, what's going on? And then Dave goes to the piano, Out of My Hands. All right. Very timely with the challenges of people getting back home to the East Coast. But where's the bangers? Now we get a captain. Okay, now we're talking. We back up, right? We back outside. Captain pulls up. First ever captain, right? In at Moon Palace. They go right back to Cornbread. Which again, it has an audience, especially an audience that's drinking alcohol all day in Mexico. I do not want to hear Cornbread if I'm paying this amount of money for an investment of an event that went up in price this year. All right. Then you get some Tim stuff. Cool. 10 years gone into Cashmere. All right. That's better. One Sweet World. All right. I don't mind that. Stay or Leave on the final night of Mexico. Oh, again, it's the place. It's the place and setting. If this is a festival set, this would actually kind of be above average. But this is Mexico. Then Jake Renick Simpson comes at the 2-minute warning, runs the offense to try to get them home. Right? And I see someone mentioning Shotgun and Good Time. Those are the songs that could have filled in early in this set. And so you get a Warehouse, you get a Pig, you get an Ants Marching. Phenomenal playing by Jake Renick Simpson. It's nice to hear violin with Dave Matthews that's in tune and every note is fretted right without screeds. Yet again, that's I will just say that with Jake. People are like, oh, I miss Boyd. Bruh, Jake Renick Simpson is not messing up notes. The notes are properly fretted. You can go Miss Boyd over there. And again, I know he it is what it is. I don't care. Respectfully, I hope the best for Boyd. We want a violin player who can fret notes and keep up with the talent in this band. That's what Jake brings. But it's like, okay, the end of this show, Warehouse, Pig, Ants Marching. Great. Violin is back in it, right? Then Tripping Billies in the E2, right? Great. Is it worth it to go through the first 22 songs? Because I kept seeing like 20, 21, 22. I'm like, bruh, when is Jake coming out? We need a bailout here. We need like the Terry Pagula and the Bills. We need some New York State money. Give us a Billy. Hey, give us some Erie County money. Give us some state money. We need a bailout. That's what this thing needed. And Jake Renick Simpson did it, but it was so late in the set. It's like, So, and I've never criticized a Dave and Tim set like this because I think anything with Dave playing with just Tim on acoustic and then maybe you have a guest is magic. But it's like when the cost of this event goes up, and yes, Jake Renick Simpson comes on, phenomenal, love him, love this for everyone in Mexico. The next question that we have to ask is, what happened to the deep cuts for Mexico? What happened to the deep cuts? Right? Where did they go? Because there were not a lot night 3, night 1 and night 2. And the reason that you save up for this trip in an economy where more people can't afford, right? The reason that you invest in a trip like this is for the once in a lifetime run of deep cuts. You still are going to hear hits. If Cornbread was played tonight, but you had songs like Good Time, maybe you bust out a Snow Outside, which is a newer song, but fans have been waiting for it, right? I think the disappointment is, again, the investment. You have a little bit of everything, but the deep cuts were missing in action. Like, were the deep cuts like back watching the college football championship game? college football playoff championship game in Miami. Did they just stay in Miami and not get to Mexico? What happened to these deep cuts? Because there weren't as many as previous shows. And again, so you have less from all accounts, talking to people, there were less people in Mexico this year based on previous years. The vets I talked to said, hey, it just looked a little bit smaller, especially night one. That's expected with the way the economy is. A lot of people that have high paying jobs have lost them and they can't find another high paying job. So that the clientele for this trip, a lot of them can't make it. The trip being in January now versus February, a lot of people can't take off the time until February. They got stuff at the beginning of the year. So you've lost a lot of people because it's in January now and because of the current economy and the cost of living, all those types of things across the country. It's not about, oh, this state or that state. It's more expensive across the board. People are cutting back across the board as different things go up in different parts of the country. From insurance costs, for how home insurance costs in Florida, to electric rates in Boston and in Hartford, Connecticut now going crazy. They're jumping out the gym with these electric rates. Everyone is struggling, right? Even if you're making money, there's still the cost of stuff is going up and the wages aren't necessarily going up. So it's like you got to get people. You have more competition. Goose has their own weekend now. Other bands are creating these getaway weekends. Bands are going to the Sphere, and people, instead of going to a tropical getaway, are going to the Sphere. How are you going to get people to go to Dave and Tim in Mexico? Part of it is having set lists that you have FOMO, right? I checked in with people who decided not to go this year, and they were really sad about that decision. Some of them opted to go to other events, other island getaway events. Others just said, hey, I just need a year off. Others had to save money. I didn't hear anyone say, dang, I wish I was there. Like, yeah, Jake is a special thing, but Jake has been to the Gorge. Jake has been, and he went to Farm Aid, so people had chances to catch him there, especially the Gorge. Like, he was at the Gorge with the full band. And, this year, Buddy did his thing. It was a phenomenal night too. But I think the bigger question for the resort and for anyone who's trying to get Dave and Tim sold out or close to sold out, this year had great moments. This year, this thing is always going to be a great getaway if you can afford it. But is there anything that had people at home saying, I gotta buy next year? The Gorge in 2025 was so good. People are going to be mobbing. Now, it may not sell out, but people based on last year are going to try to find their way back to the Gorge just because of how incredible that weekend was. And I just don't see that happening with Mexico. And if the prices continue to go up, they are going to be in trouble. And speaking of that, they should have played trouble, right? And so Dave is a talented artist. Tim is a talented artist. I love Buddy and Jake and other people that guessed it in. Joy Olakindin. And I sorry if I mispronounced that, but Joy came on for the first night. Great to give her a spotlight. By the way, she mentioned how she had kind of been discouraged of meeting very famous people in the music industry over recently, and how Dave was the exact opposite. So she's met people that maybe she looked up to, maybe that were well known, and the experiences were bad. And we know in this industry, some of them, there are famous people, there are successful people that either just aren't good people they're just not good interacting with other artists, or they have horrible things they do, they leverage, or they try to use their power to force other musicians to do things that makes them uncomfortable. And so I love that Dave gave Joy a spotlight, and also she felt like redeemed from a recent string of meeting heroes that let her down in one way or another. But there's gotta, I think you gotta really make sure that you sell this weekend, and it's up to this. It's based on the set list and the show flow. You add some deep cuts, you finish this weekend off strong, and I think Dave was sick. He said night 2, and maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know. And maybe just the news and the current events that Dave's heart weighs heavy on, maybe that had something to do with it. But it was just a weird set for sure. It was a weird set, and it is what it is. Let's see. I'm trying to see if we got Kumi. I'm gonna get Kumi's videos, and let's see if we have Jeff. I don't have anything from Jeff, but we're gonna check out Kumi DMB. We'll download these videos. We'll reset the audio to make sure it is good to go. And thank you guys for joining. Okay, so we're gonna send these to my laptop. All right, so I'm getting Kumi's videos loaded up. We'll see what he has to say here. Also, shout out. I know they do this every year. And this year, instead of ending on Sunday, it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I like the earlier start time. I really wish more shows would start earlier, so you can get out earlier, man. As a dad now, and even before the last couple of years, man, I like stuff to end earlier. And so it's nice to come on here at 11, 10:45 versus being here at 11:30, 12, starting out for the show. All right, so let's get these videos loaded up. Okay, so I'm going to play Kumi's. I'm going to check to make sure the audio is playing here, and let's get this loaded up as well. And again, stay tuned. I plan to, at some point, put some content out. Maybe we'll go live on Tuesday because I want to talk about the summer tour announcement if it goes as planned. People on Ants, solid sources on Ants that have nailed this, have been saying January 27th. And shout out to Karina the Furrows. She's in the chat and she's sent me some great videos, giving me some great insight and thoughts about this weekend. She came over. I believe you're in the UK. Is that correct? Correct, Karina the Furrows? I don't want to mess it up. Are you across the pond in the UK? Scotland, Ireland, England? I can't remember. Let me know. But she came across to come to Mexico. Typically, we'll only go to shows in Europe and in Canada. And came down to Mexico for these shows. Okay, so let's make sure. Oh, she's from England. Okay, she's from England. Okay. All right, there we go. So let's play Kumi's. Let's get his insight here on this weekend.
What's up? It's Kumi DMB, also known as DMB Fan JTR, coming at you from the hotel in Mexico after night 3 of Dave and Tim. I'm recording this for Concert Viz 34 stream. I enjoyed the weekend overall. It's always fun to come to Mexico. I think the highlight for me tonight was Captain and also Jake Simpson. Jake playing on those 3 songs, Ants, Pig, and Billy's, was just elite. I feel like Jake's passion is something that we've been missing for a while. You could just see how excited he was to be up there, and you could just see in his face how passionate he was about his performance. So it was really, really cool to see him play again with Dave in any capacity. So that was really cool. I think the crowd loved that. Everyone loves Jake. I haven't heard a single negative thing about Jake. So, it was awesome to see him guest tonight. I feel like something's been wrong with Dave this weekend. He's been talking about how he's been having something wrong with his head. And like I think on the first night he said there's like emptiness in his head. So he got some testing done and everything seems to be fine, but something felt like it was off tonight. And the set kind of might have reflected that. It was a lot slower of a set. There weren't a ton of highlights for me outside of Captain and Jake, and then maybe number 27. But still really cool to see Dave and Tim and have Jake guest on as well.
All right, we're going to get part 2 up here as well. Let me just get that clip. If that's the case, I do want to send my best wishes to Dave. It was hard to hear some of the Dave speak from Couch Tour, but if that impacted the set, that would make a lot of sense. I really hope he's okay. That is a scary thing if there is something where there's just something going on where he has to simplify the set. He's just not feeling right. And so just best wishes to Dave. I really hope that's okay. And again, that may explain why I was so confused about what's going on. Let's hear part 2 here from Kumi. Oh, let's...
And Warehouse. I couldn't forget about Warehouse with Jake. That was amazing as well. It's a sound that we haven't heard in a while since Jake has been playing with Dave. I think I took my time getting into the venue today. We got there around when doors opened, around 5:30, and Dave and Tim played around 7:15 or so. There were a lot of people talking around me today. All of Tim's songs were pretty much just talking, and also during Virginia in the Rain, there was a lot of talking. So I get it. It was a little slower of a set today, so there were just people talking more. Unfortunately, that happens. When it comes to the poster, I was kind of surprised. I really liked the poster, and in theory, I like the artwork. I like the artist a lot. I believe it's Luke Mart. But it's a weird size. Like the length and width are different. And it kind of looked like a triptych, but it's just a single poster. And the foil and the regular looked pretty similar. So I skipped the poster today, which is the first time I've skipped a poster in a while. But I did like the artwork. It just didn't... the sizing thing is going to throw off what I would do with it. So all in all, Mexico was a great weekend, or I guess week. It's awesome to come down here. I was surprised at how Some Devil songs didn't really make... we got the normal Some Devil songs that we hear during the summer tour. We didn't really get any Up and Away, Too High, Gray Blue Eyes, Baby. Those kind of songs weren't played at all. So a little surprising. But outside of that, I was really happy to be here, and I always look forward to this weekend. So if you are on the fence about it, definitely give it a shot. It's something really cool that Dave and Tim offer here, and you meet so many like-minded fans that you really don't get a chance to meet outside of this opportunity. So that's all I have for right now. Thanks for having me on, Marcus, and I'll see you at the next one.
All right, it's Kumi DMB. Always appreciate his insight. Yeah, but I'm just thinking about that additional context to him clearly hearing. And again, it was hard to kind of fully hear what he was saying about his head, but I hope Dave's okay. Even beyond the music, that he can figure out what may be going on, even if certain tests are coming back with no issues. That's tough. We saw Billy Joel, while older than Dave, kind of have to stop touring because of different challenges he's facing, and so I hope he is okay. Because life as you get older just has challenges, and so that's what I'll say from there. All right, so we talked about the show, set list, new song, Jake, but the Jake Renick Simpson thing is just great news. We look ahead now. Mexico's over as far as the music. The Fish fans will be coming with their tarps, I believe, right? Coming up this, in the next couple of days. And then they'll have some Fish shows there next week, or this week, later this week, towards the end of this week. It's Sunday, January 24th. So now all eyes turn to the summer tour dates and announcements, and there's a lot of anxiety. It's understandable. The band has had to adjust things for reasons that we don't fully know, but we've gotten context. Some of it is logistical, some of it is just contractual, but we'll still never fully know why certain things just don't work out, even if we know it's a logistics issue. Okay, what happened? Florida and Texas skipped. There's concern in the Midwest about no Alpine, and even now no Chicago. And, it's got people, rightfully so, concerned. People who love Alpine, people who say, well, I don't like Chicago, but I'd rather have Chicago over no Alpine and then Chicago being skipped. And the reality is, and people are like, oh, why are they not playing Chicago or Alpine? They're crazy. They would do this. They would sell this. Why aren't they playing Denver? We don't know if they are or not. But it's possible they've skipped Denver. Denver will sell out or near sell out and perform better than even some East Coast venues, revenue and attendance wise, and they've skipped it. The reality is, again, it's just we're going to have to deal with this. It's the reality of the world. You even look, it's even worse for modern popular stadium tours where artists are just playing 5, 6, 7 shows sometimes at an amphitheater or not an amphitheater, an arena, I should say, or they do a couple of stadium shows, but they don't necessarily hit every major market. And so fans have to travel further now for some of the more like culturally relevant, like DMB is just not culturally relevant. The subculture of DMB fans buy a lot of tickets, but they're just not as popping in the mainstream as they once were. The only reason Dave makes the news is because he speaks out against certain things going on in the world. It's not because of his music. But some of the more mainstream acts, some of the top of the charts, stadium tour artists, fans are having to drive even further. They're skipping major parts of the country, and some of these acts are only doing a couple cities in North America, and then they go down to other parts of the world. And so it's hard for everyone right now. If you're a music fan and you may live in what is considered, like you could live in LA, and a lot of artists aren't going to LA. DMB may not play LA next year. They may, maybe they will, maybe they won't. So it's frustrating, but it's just the reality of the world. Whether right or wrong, that's just how it is. And so it's not out of the possibility that there could be no Alpine and no Chicago at all. And the Midwest has a big hole in it. There's rumors of dates in Kansas City, and maybe that's where they're going, but who knows? But regardless of if you like one venue over another, regardless of what they're selling, those things, ticket sales and attendance for DMB specifically, they don't need any more. Like they don't need like, oh, we have to go here. Even the Gorge, they could, like in theory, then they're not going to skip the Gorge. That's a big weekend for them. But in theory, they could walk away from the Gorge. Like they've done well. The staff and crew has done well. They're closer to the end than the beginning. And even if that end is in a decade, that's just the reality. It could be in 15 years, but they're 35 years into this. And so this band they're not forced to make an album every year to fulfill contractual obligations and to justify a reason for touring. Some artists who play the same sets every night that don't have the following of DMB, they have to, in order to get that next tour, they have to make new music, and then they can push that new music, and there's a little bit of variety. Otherwise, they may not get the green light to go touring. They may be told to go hide for 4 or 5 years or hide for a couple of years to build up momentum and then pop back out on the road. DMB does not need your money. DMB does not have to explain themselves. They don't have as much restrictions as other bands. they can say, oh, nope, we're not going to do this. And again, there could just be challenges the public is not fully aware of, that's caused some of this stuff to be moved around for major stops on the tour for the first time in a long time, like West Palm Beach, just go missing. So again, there's anxiety, there's worry, there's concern, but the point is, no musical act owes playing in your city, even if you're in a top 5 market in the country. And Jetpack Miner makes a great point. There's no World Cup matches in Chicago this summer, but they are in Kansas City. And yeah, who knows? And with those World Cups, there's a lot of hotels being booked up. And that could impact even traffic, things like that. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll see what goes on with that. All right. And so that was really the tour talk I want to do now, because again, everything else we're going to have to wait for. But I should see you guys on Tuesday. If I don't see you live, I'll have some sort of content, some sort of reaction recorded. And if for some reason there's no tour announcement on Tuesday, whenever the tour is announced, I'm going to try to do what I can to get content out and hear from you guys and see what you guys think in the comments about the tour. And I think the other thing I'm really have my eye on is how much are tickets going to cost for this next DMB summer tour. A lot of acts have raised ticket prices across the board at different tier levels. So you have mid-level artists that may sell out smaller amphitheaters, regular indoor theaters. You have larger acts that do amphitheaters. You have mega, generational talents that do stadiums. And all these ticket prices are going up. The ticket buying process is stressful. And so we'll see what happens with the face value tiered pricing that they do for the warehouse once the tour announcement was there, and also the Ticketmaster, and how many tickets are available at shows, because these prices are going up. There's extra fees, different things like that, and that's just the way it is. So thank you guys for watching these Mexico shows. Thank you for all the guests who came on. Let me just do one check for Jeff. I think he's not going to be able to get in here. But I wish Dave the best. I'm happy that Buddy and Jake were able to sit in, and Tim Reynolds, as always, is a wizard on acoustic guitar. I would love him to continue testing out acoustic guitar with the full band as he did at the end of 2025 in the summer tour, the end of the 2025 summer tour. So it was still not the end of the year, but you're getting towards that in that month of August, he really did some experimenting with acoustic, that Breed Love nylon acoustic guitar that he was playing. All right, that's it. It's your boy Conserviz 34. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for more. Multi-cams are going to be worked on in the next couple of months. Guilford Night 1, Guilford Night 2, maybe go back to Mohegan. And I do want to try to make multi-cams for these Mexico shows. I am a little nervous because I'm seeing a lot of vertical video for Instagram, for Facebook, and not a lot of horizontal video, but I'm hoping there will be enough footage. If you have footage from Mexico, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter /X, Conserviz34 at me, do something to get my attention, or message me in Instagram and Facebook if you do have some video clips, vertical or horizontal, but either way I will try to fit them in if I have enough video to make full multicam videos for Mexico. There were some great moments despite just kind of the confusion tonight for most of the show. And that's it. We're going to close out with Wildlands. Tim will not be here. This is Dave and Jake. This is really the origin of Dave really falling in love with having violin like Jake join other aspects of his performances, from Dave and Tim at Farm Aid to Dave Matthews Band at the Gorge last year. This is Warehouse from from Wildlands. You can watch my Best of Wildlands compilation on YouTube, Conserviz34. Jen Rosenthal is the primary video source for this, the only video source for this video. I combined her video with taper audio from Zach S., who, by the way, has Night 2 up, and he's done a lot of great work to get these tapes up very quickly. You wake up the next morning, you eat breakfast, and by the time that you eat breakfast in Mexico, you have access to download on Dreaming Tree the tapes. If you are a DMB Hub member and you listen to taper audio on the Hub, give it time. Just like Goose tells us, it will take some time for Ants to get all the taper audio from Dreaming Tree over to Ants and then make it available on the Hub. That is something that there's people that work on that. I don't know fully who does it, but Zach gets it to Dreaming Tree. That's where if you know torrents, you can use it. But if you don't use torrents, if you don't want to learn, you should learn. But if you don't want to learn and want it right on the DMB Hub app, now available for Android and Google Play, the Google Play Store, right, or whatever it's called. I'm a Mac user now. So whatever they call that thing, it's on there. You can get DMB Hub even if you don't have an iPhone. So search on your Android, your Google, whatever the non-Apple device, and you should have an app there that works to give you taper audio you can stream on your phone. All right, for real, I'm leaving this time for real because we just pushed an hour. So way too much time to talk DMB. All right, go Patriots tomorrow. Shout out to my UConn men's Huskies hockey team. They won the CT Ice tournament. UConn men's basketball, UConn women's basketball is balling out of control. One loss across both of those teams. Go Huskies.
can do sparkling the window, static fame, statistical man. So now we'll fade away, you'll fade away. All that this I am seems so good, how to believe it into it. The warehouse is bare, nothing all exactly. The walls and halls have disappeared, they disappeared. Well, remember when we were walking, many things could be better than this, but we should not worry, 'cause you know things could be worse, they could be worse for you and me in the warehouse, all in the warehouse, all in the warehouse. Renick Simpson.